Moin und hallo beim Filmfest Bremen. Mein Name ist Susanne.
Und ich bin Yugen. Wir sind vom Indiefilmtalk Podcast und begleiten euch bei diesem Filmgespräch heute. Und begrüßen sehr herzlich heute die Regisseure von der, die Regisseure sage ich schon, die Crew und den Regisseur. Es sind so viele, deswegen so spannend.
Viele Köpfe.
Den Regisseur und natürlich auch die ganze Teil der Crew von dem Film MUCHA, The Story of an Artist Who Created a Style, nämlich dem Roman Wawra und das Ganze war ein großer Teil des Teams.
Hello everybody.
Hello.
Hello. We have some people on stage,
And,
we have
yeah.
many people on screen.
Yeah. So we are switching to English that everyone can understand us, right? And first, because we have so many people here, and I would like that maybe we can introduce them, and maybe we can do it this time that you introduce them. So Peter and Andre, you are the both producers of the movie. So can you introduce your colleagues who are here?
Okay, so hello everybody. Hello from Prague. We are happy that we can be in this Q&A. And I'm sitting here with Roman Wawra, the director of the film, Jakub Pinkava, my colleague from company Punk Film, and we are producers of the film. And we have many other colleagues. We will mention them later on during the talking. So this is for us from Prague. So I will give a word to Peter now.
Hey, nice to have you here.
Yeah, hello from Berlin. I'm sitting in the Berlin office. Unfortunately, I can't make it to Bremen due to family reasons. And I would like to welcome and to introduce you some of our Bremen and Lower Saxony team. And that is, we can see him on the right lower bottom. It is Rainer Ludwigs. He did the animation of the film, and he's based in Ottersberg, which is a huge city close to Bremen, about 30 kilometers. It's two stops by train from Bremen to Hamburg, just to give an idea where we are. And then we have also André Feldhaus, who is the composer of the film, who lives in Bremen itself. And we have sitting beside him, is Martin Baum, who is the voice of Alfons Mucha's son, Jiří Mucha, which is the main voice of the film. He did the German, he did the German voice. Mm-hmm. So this is just a few of the German team.
That's so funny. Everybody was waving. I was noticing. Everybody's waving. Yeah.
Before we start the talk, I would like to know how many people was in the crew at the end.
Oh God.
Difficult question.
It's a difficult question. But like the main crew would be around 40 people, and then of course there's like 20 more. But the total number of people involved in the film, it's like 100 to 200, something like that. Mm-hmm. But like, you know, it was a long process, but the main crew is about 40 people.
Crazy. For Roman, the first question would be why you decided to tell the story about Alfons Mucha from the perspective or from the view of his son.
Mm-hmm. So I didn't decide to do this project. It was idea of from the dramaturg Martin Polák from Brno TV, Czech TV, and together with Andrzej and after that with Jakub, they invited me. I think in situation that. They had to help, and I thought about Alfons Mucha and his story, and for me it was very, very important to find the key how to tell this story. And I decided that in the past, 30 years ago, I read a book from Jiří Mucha. Here it is. It's, I think, and experts said that it's true that it's the best view to life and art of Alfons Mucha. because Jiří Mucha wrote it down from memoirs, not published memoirs of his father, Alfons Mucha, and he did great research about life, about story, influences, and so on of his father. So I thought that it would be works to tell the story, but this book has a lot of pages, yeah, and we have to with my colleague Sarah, we wrote the script together to choose the important parts, and for me it was important to choose parts with pictures or visual parts. Yeah, that it would be possible to film it, to tell the story through pictures, through film. Yeah, and when it was impossible to tell by film, by archives, by photos, and so on. So we had to invite like a collaborator, animator from Germany, Rainer, and he had to do rest of this mosaic. And to fill it out the rest of the mosaic. So, and I would like to apologize for my English, my socialist English.
Was great. We understood everything, so everything good.
I was educated during a communist.
No worries.
No worries. I would pick up the book. Would you have handed out? I would ask that if this inspired you, Jakub and Andre, to produce this movie, or what was the beginning of your research? What did you use for to research this documentary?
The beginning of the whole project was that I was asked by Czech television producer Martin Polák. We did a documentary before together, and he came to us that he liked to do a film about Alfons Mucha because he thought that he's like big name, but nobody really knows about his life, about his work, about his influence of the other artists and his importance in the world. And he gave us this book, like to read it, because he said like that's written by his son, so it's probably the best source where to get some ideas about Alfons. And it was really interesting for me because honestly, Alfons Mucha for us was kind of like poster master that was during communism, during socialism in our country. He was pushed by official regime in 70s, and like every family had a poster in the apartment. Some of them, they had it in the toilet, in the bathroom. So it was everywhere, and we were a bit like overwhelmed by that. And so my first idea was, why should I do a documentary about a guy that was everywhere and nobody cares about him anymore? But then like we started to talk about it, and the probably break point in my thinking was that Martin came with, because he did a big research about Alfons Mucha all around the world. And he came to us with the connection with American culture, and especially with hippies, because he found out that the first designers of posters for hippie musicians, for Janis Joplin, for Jimi Hendrix, for Grateful Dead, they were really inspired by Alfons Mucha, and they admired him. And so, and that was something really new for me that I didn't know before. And I was like, okay, if Alfons Mucha is guru for hippies, we should tell that to the people, because there's something totally different how we like saw him before. So that was kind of like start of the whole process that came to us.
Peter, how did you both came together? When did they came to you to do the co-production, and what was your fascination to work with them together?
The name Martin Pollack already was mentioned a few times. He is working for Czech TV in Brno, and he contacted me, I must say now, a few years ago, and he said, you have already done produced a documentary about Alfons Mucha, which I did about 16 years ago with a German director, and it was in production for Arte, like this one was also made for Arte TV, at that time also for Czech TV and Arte, like this time. And I thought, okay, why should we do another Mucha documentary? We did one quite successful 15 years ago. And what's new in this? But then there are the two reasons why I thought I might support this, or I could support the project, and I find it interesting, is first that there are new approaches in it and new knowledge about Alfons Mucha, which we hadn't had 15 years ago. And this was, for example, that Jiří Mucha, the son, has a strong role in the project, and with and the other one was the way we were communicating. First with Martin Pollack, and then later on with a punk film with Ondřej Beranek, with Jakub, and then with Roman. And I must say, I loved the communication, and I loved the enthusiasm, and the way we were then dealing and finding financing, and later on, of course, developing the project. And it was a big pleasure for me. So at first I was very reluctant and thought, why? What can be my role, and why again? But then I found out, yes, it's, and also I must say, Alfons Mucha is a hero, even when some Czech people became tired of him after a while when he was everywhere. But he is a hero in Czech Republic, and so the story of Alfons Mucha can be told every 10 or 20 years again and again, because there are new aspects in it. And I'm sure we will see another documentary or even feature film about him in 10 or 15 years. And I'm sure there are top secret projects even in the at Punk Film. I haven't heard of them, but for sure they think about it.
You'll be the first one to know it, don't worry.
Thank you.
We can see different styles in the project. We can see different animation styles, for example. Rainer, can you tell us a little bit about your work in this film, and what kind of different techniques did you use?
Yeah, of course. The first idea we had, no, it was not the first, it was the second one when we met on the Berlinale, and with the whole team, with the directors and the producers. And the idea was to visualize a kind of the sketchbook drawings of Alfons Mucha. And that was the background which we used as a frame in which we did then the animation. And it's a mixture actually from hand drawings, which we did not anymore on paper, because animation demands for, of course, digital working furthermore. And so we drew, but it was hand drawn. Some of that of the animations and of the backgrounds, of course. And then we used, then we tried out different techniques to introduce this hand drawn style into computer animated characters. And yeah, that's what we did, and that's how it hopefully looks in the end.
It really gives us the possibility to get into this world together with the voice of the son, who really gives us kind of wie so eine Führung, wie so eine Begleitung durch den Film, oder?
Yeah, right. It takes the viewer, I think, very well with Alphonse Muchas or with the story, and I have the feeling like you are very deep inside, and maybe we can talk about the voice if you
yeah,
because we have the voice here.
Because we have the voice here. Wie war es für dich, zu dem Projekt dazuzukommen? Weißt du noch, wann du das erste Skript gelesen hast? Hattest du vorher schon was über MUCHA gehört? War es für dich total unglaublich zu hören, dass er gar nicht so präsent ist?
Also ich muss gestehen, ich habe nicht wirklich viel von ihm gewusst, eigentlich gar nichts. Ich bin Österreicher und habe sehr nah an der tschechischen Grenze gelebt und war auch oft in Tschechien, habe Prag, diese wundervolle Stadt, kennengelernt, und ich habe durch dieses Projekt und lustigerweise auch durch Jiří Mucha eben meinen Vater wieder kennenlernen können, und ich habe mich auch durch dieses Projekt erinnert, ich kenne ja so viel von ihm, ich kenne so viele Bilder, genau das, was ihr alle schon erzählt habt, und das war sehr spannend und sehr bereichernd.
No. You see, we have so many ideas we want to ask you, so it's difficult to decide. I would like to switch to the composer too and ask, how did you get on board? What was for you interesting in this project, and what was maybe a little bit different to other projects?
Yeah, I came on board also in this legendary meeting during the Berlinale Film Festival in 2019, where we met in Peter's offices in Berlin. Yes, exactly. That was the kickoff for me with the other guys, to get to know them. And it was totally open in the beginning, what kind of music would be there. I was totally free to suggest things. So, but it turned out at some point on the project that there will be many pre-existing pieces of music in the film. We kind of thought about maybe making own music for most parts of the film, but no, at some point, I don't know when it happened, but we decided to stick to the animations, to compose music for the animations, and to have many much pre-existing music in the film. You've seen the film, I guess, so
yes,
you realize it's a beautiful mosaic of images, and also a very impressive mosaic of music, which at some points maybe even a bit overwhelming. But that's part of the concept of the film, and also shows the effect of this that MUCHA had over the centuries. We have also psychedelic rock in there, which I couldn't make, and there we have classical music from the 19th century in it and everything. So, what in the end turned out that I concentrated on the animations that Rainer beautifully illustrated with the help of your team, Rainer. And so it was a kind of hand-in-hand work with a German work, Bremen, Lower Saxony co-production for the animations in the film. I think there are 8 animations that ended up in the movie, and it was totally interesting. It was totally, for me, I really love the film, as you might see, because I'm really proud of that project. And as to MUCHA, the same as like Martin said already, I knew 2 posters maybe, and I knew there was this guy who had a similar name to a director, a German director with the name of MUCHA, but I kind of confused everything, so I didn't really know that this MUCHA guy was really that iconic. So for me it was also a little journey into a deep, into a new subject.
While I was watching the movie, I was thinking about, you told us, Andre, like you can see him everywhere, but he's not that present as an artist. And I was questioning myself, how important is the national support for an artist while he is still alive? Because he was for a long time in Paris, working there. And do you think there's a connection between not being part of your own country for a long time and how they treat their own artist, or how they tell their stories about it?
Yes, and sometimes it's like that. If you are like very successful like in the world, then you have problems in your own country. Sometimes people envy you, sometimes people don't want you to tell them like how you should do it. So MUCHA had the problems when he got back to Czech Republic, Czechoslovakia, and as well like after the war, like he got lost a bit, like in the minds of people. But then his son, and that's what is told in film, like brought him in life, because he started to do exhibitions. He started the thing with hippies, because they made some exhibitions in United States, and people saw it there. So from that point, it's kind of like a renaissance of MUCHA's work in the world. And because of Yeezy's son, his name is John, he's grandson of Alphonse. And he's very interesting person, because he's the head of MUCHA Foundation, and they were partners of the film as well. And they are like trying to keep the legacy of Alphonse Mucha in their hands. It's kind of like unique situations when you have a family that is really doing the work about the legacy of the work. And what he's doing right now, he's doing the exhibitions all around the world. And I think, and hopefully thanks to our film as well, people will see Alphonse Mucha in from different point of view. And what I've seen, like in last couple of years, like his work is going up again in even in Czech Republic. Like you have like quite a lot of exhibitions. So I believe like he's like newborn star again, even like 100 years after he did it.
I only add that Alphonse Mucha was, after the Second World War, almost a forgotten artist, yeah, because communist regime didn't like his painters, because they said that it's bourgeois art and so on. And from the beginning of the 60s, Jiří Mucha's son helped to discover Alphonse Mucha for Europe, for United States especially, and organized exhibitions in Japan, France, and United States. It was very, very important for destiny of the Alphonse Mucha, for art of Alphonse Mucha.
Maybe we should say as well, and in the film you can see that as well. Mucha did his epic work, which is called Slav Epic, and it's like series of mega boards, mega paintings, like 18 mega paintings, and that's a thing that it's problematic from the very beginning. Even when he like made it in the beginning of 20th century, it was kind of archaic art already for other artists, and since that it's kind of problematic work, because still we have discussions here in Czech Republic if these megaboards should be displayed and where it should be displayed, and there are some like issues about that. So still like his work is like creating discussions and issues, which is probably good for him, and people still can like read the articles about him and things about his work.
If there would be a sequel in like 15 years, from which point of view would you like to tell the story? From one of the family members? Do you have something in mind? You all can say something on 3.
I think it's up to the next generation, basically.
Nice.
No, but really, like exactly, especially for me, you know, like yes, Mucha is a really known name in Czech Republic. Even teenagers know him mainly for the pictures that are sold in Paris, you know, and stuff like that. But I think like what is really, really nice, and you can see it in our film, is his actually character. And like nobody from at least like from, let's say, my generation and younger ones knew about Alphonse Mucha and knew about his life and his style of work, for example, you know. And for me, that is something that is really important in the film. And why am I saying that right now is that in 15 years, it might be that already, everybody is bored with, how great he was with, setting a goal and achieving it in 20 years later. So it might be another sort of story about something completely different, while again about his art mainly, or colors that he was choosing, or something like that. So it's somehow impossible to reply to that, I would say.
Then now we need to finish, I think so. But I have one question left, or I have more than one, but I would ask one. Would be the point of the co-production. I mean, it was a co-production between Czech and Germany, or Czechoslovakia. And how was it for you, Peter and Jakob, or the producers guys here, to work together? And was it a pleasure or was it difficult? I mean, we are talking with us, so you can you can say it. No, but I mean, how was it for you to work together? I mean, co-production work can be difficult, but it can be a very nice work too. So how was it for you guys?
So I will start because, yeah. Is it okay, Peter?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
It is co-production.
Was it like that? No.
Okay, thank you very much.
But we always agree that I will start, so it's okay. So no, I wanted to start because I wanted to say that it was great, and it was mentioned here that was a like legendary meeting at Berlinale where we all met, and like we really wanted to have a German co-producer on board, and Peter from the very beginning was the right person, and he was a great guy. And what I really love about him, his passion for work, his passion for documentaries, and style of communication. Very open, very straight, and that's what I love. And I do quite a lot of co-productions, and I'm always choosing my partners, my co-producer partners, because I can be very open with them, and we can discuss everything, even if we have problems, if we have some difficulties with creative process. We can discuss it, and we are always trying to find the best solution. Not the best solution on like according the contracts or papers or some funding, but always best solution for the film. And that's what I found in Peter, and it was great to work with him. So thank you very much.
And I added, I would like very thank to our colleagues. You can see it for energy of speaking, energy of your eruption. Thank you.
So we can say we with the Czech people, the German people have more in common as we mostly think. And I would like to thank you and reverse your thank you to you, because it was such a huge pleasure to work with you, all of you. And I think we did it on, how to say in English, on eye level. Mm-hmm. So we both are in it. The German side was a much smaller part of the co-production. The main part came from financially, and of course an artistic came from Czech Republic. So but this didn't matter. It was our pleasure to support this project and make the best we can do. And I hope we can go on in the future. And this is it's a pleasure. I can just repeat it again and again.
Then I will repeat it too, and end our talk with. It's a pleasure for us, I think so too, to meet you guys and to get a chat with you, or that we talk together a little bit. And I would say, we want to see the next one, right?
Yeah, but not in 15 years, maybe in 5 years or in 10 years. Yeah. It would be so lovely to see you.
Or every other project, of course, which you are planning to do next. So, thank you very much.
Wish you all the best. Thanks for having you here on stage and on screen. Have a good one.
Yeah.
Thank
We
you.
look forward to meet you in person.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Me
would be
too.
great.
The next Berlinale party.
Next Berlinale.
Thank you very much for this online version. It's perfect. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
We are
you.
looking forward with Peter together to the next beer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So thank
Bye.
you.